Jungkook, here's your suit, you said, giving him. Wyan, can you help me to shower? He said, making you nervous. Jungkook, my husband, we got arranged marriage for business. First I thought it is just attraction towards him, but after I got to know it was more than it. Love. What to say about Jungkook? He is cold. It is difficult to understand him, but my love grew deeply for him. As today he came home injured, seeing him made me worried. I will help, but first I must treat your own, you said as he nodded. First I made him to sit, taking the first aid. He took off his shirt. As I saw his deep wound, I was treating it, but Jungkook can't take the pain. Jungkook, want to hear a story? You said as he nodded softly. I started to tell a story. Slowly, Jungkook started to focus on it, and I treated his wound while telling the story, smiling. He is cute, focusing. I finished it treating him. Then what happened to them? Wait, you finished it treating my wound? You are smart, he said, staring at you. Then they live happily together. And thank you for the compliment. I will help you to shower now, you said as you both went to the bathroom. We entered as Jungkook started to take off his clothes. I looked away nervously. I started to help to shower him, turning on the water to wash his hand softly. As I finished helping him, I was about to go out, but suddenly he pulled my hand towards the water. We stared at each other while water flowed on us. My heart was beating fast. Jungkook came closer, closing his eyes, and was about to kiss. I shyly left the bathroom. My heart was beating fast. My mind was filled with him. I started to change my clothes as I was fully wet. I thought to read a book. As I sat taking the book, Jungkook entered wearing a towel showing his abs. Water dripping everywhere. I can't take my eyes from him. Like what you're seeing? He said, making you to blush as he smiled wearing his clothes and left. What the? When did Jungkook become flirty? I was all red by blushing. I can't understand him. Sometimes he's cold, then he's flirty. I went back to read a book. I finished it reading my book. I came out to see Jungkook watching TV. I sat next to him watching while eating snacks. As I was focusing, but suddenly, Jungkook, I told you today my friend is getting married. Can we go there together? You asked nervously, but he nodded. As I was watching, slowly I fell asleep on Jungkook's shoulder. After some time, I woke up seeing him sleeping, hugging me tightly, covering with the blanket. We got ready and sat on the car. Jungkook started to drive. I was so happy to meet my friend after a long time. My friends will all come to wish her a happy marriage. I bought the gift which you mentioned for your friend, he said as you smiled. I told him 1 month before, but he remembered it. Wow. We were going happily, but suddenly our car stopped suddenly. Jungkook got out to check. It was less of petrol. Thankfully, on the left, there was a petrol bank. We went there and filled our car. Why and just wait a little. We will go to your friend's marriage on time, he said as we nodded happily. As he was filling, I started to think about our marriage. How he came late to our marriage because he fell asleep. I smiled every time I think about it. He filled the petrol, turning on the car and started to drive safely to the location. We arrived as we got out to see my friends waiting. I ran to them, hugging them tightly. I went to meet my friend in the bridal room. She was so beautiful wearing the dress, standing in front of the mirror. We started to talk about our memories happily. I smiled happily seeing my friend getting married. I turned to see Jungkook holding my hand, staring at me lovingly. I blushed looking away as marriage got over. Finally, we got on the car going back to home. I was so tired as Jungkook was driving. I slowly fell asleep, falling on his shoulder. He softly smiled, seeing me while driving. I slowly woke up, seeing Jungkook staring at me. We were both staring at each other deeply, but suddenly Jungkook lost his focus on driving and we got accident. Jungkook got major injury while seeing me, leading me into minor injury. I quickly took him to the hospital, who was unconscious. I was nervously waiting outside the ICU room. Tears dropped from my eyes seeing him lying unconscious on the bed while doctor was operating. I closed my eyes praying nothing must happen to him. As I was waiting nervously, suddenly the doctor came out saying operation went well and told me to wait for him to wake up. As I was waiting, suddenly he opened his eyes slowly. Jungkook, thankfully nothing happened to you, you said, taking his hand, holding it. I was scared when we got accident. I thought I have lost you, but thankfully nothing happened. I was so happy to see you, you said, but suddenly he removed your hand from him. Who are you? Where am I? Who am I? He asked, making you confused. Jungkook, what happened? We are in the hospital because we both got accident. But seeing me, you got major injury. Did you lose your memory? You said, making him confused. Jungkook, I'm your wife, you said, staring at him. I'm your girlfriend, she said as we both turned to see someone standing.